Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of ScholAceStic, a podcast where I help you ace your scholastic pursuits. Today I'm going to discuss annotating, what it is, and how to do it. Let's get into it. Put simply, annotation is making notes on a text you're reading to help you engage with the text more closely. Annotating encourages you to think critically about what you're reading and ask questions as you go along. I find that whenever I annotate a book, I'm engaging with it more closely than I would if I were just reading it, especially if I was reading it for pleasure rather than school. There are many different styles of annotating, but today I'm going to share the ways that I annotate books to help me be an active participant in seminars, write top-scoring essays, and remember what I've read. There are several things that I do when annotating. One good thing to do is put a box around a person or character the first time they are mentioned. If there is an accompanying description of them, I connect the box around their name to an underline beneath all the words that are used to describe them. If I come across a word I don't know, I also tend to put a box around it or circle it so I can look it up later. When I come across a description I really like, or that I think is important, I underline it. However, if it's a long passage, I'll put brackets at the start and end of the passage and only underline the extra important parts between the brackets. I also use different types of underlines to convey different things. When something is important but not hugely revealing about a theme or character, I just underline it with a standard straight underline. However, when something seems extra significant, I'll put a squiggly underline beneath it to make it stand out more. I may also add brackets, asterisks, or arrows for emphasis. When a whole page or section of a book is massively important to the plots, themes, or characters, I will circle the page number several times so that when I'm skimming through the book looking for them during a discussion, they stand out. Something I also do is write my thoughts, observations, and speculations in the margins of the book so that I can bring them up in a discussion or essay. Now, this type of annotation is something I typically do in more creative works like books of fiction, poems, autobiographies, etc. My style of annotation for nonfiction works, especially scientific papers, is similar but distinct because I'm annotating for information rather than key themes or motifs. In a scientific paper, my annotations are generally sparser. There aren't deeper meanings or motifs to analyze, there aren't characters with hidden motives, etc. In a good scientific paper, there are just facts and explanations. When a fact is stated that I already know, I don't annotate it. When there is an interesting fact or something that I didn't previously know, I make a note of it by underlining it. I put boxes around key terms or words that I need to look up. Usually, my annotations on scientific papers consist of underlines, boxes, and arrows accompanied by my notes on the topic, either connecting a specific topic to a broader scientific context, asking a question about it, or making a note that will help me later on an exam or assignment. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, these are all great ideas, but what if I have to analyze a book I can't write in? Or, I don't want to annotate directly in my book. How can I keep good notes on it? Don't worry, I've been in the same situation before. When you either can't or don't want to annotate directly in a book, have some sheets of blank paper or a notebook on hand for you to write your notes in. When I take notes like this, I write out the quote I'm going to make a note on, and then put my notes below it with bullet points. If you're making a note about a long passage, just put the first few words, an ellipsis, and then the last few words, along with the page number or span of pages so that you can find it easily. Alternately, if you can put sticky notes in your book, write down what you want to make a note of on the sticky note, then stick it in the book on the page where the information is that you're referencing. I used to hate annotating texts for school, but when I started doing it while reading for pleasure, I found that it enhanced my reading experience by encouraging me to think more critically about the text and engage with it more deeply. I hope you learned something and enjoyed this episode of ScholAceStic. In the next episode, I will talk about how to write a killer essay. Work hard, take care, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.